The year is 2026, but listen to the rhetoric coming out of Washington, and you'd think the Red Scare never left. So why is the administration suddenly obsessed with a 70-year-old political boogeyman? Over the past year, the Trump administration has launched a relentless rhetorical campaign warning that America is on the verge of a communist takeover. From official White House proclamations declaring Anti-Communism Week, to Cuba suddenly becoming a national security threat, to rally speeches labeling ordinary political opponents as Marxist operatives, the Red Scare is officially back on the main stage. But why? The Soviet Union collapsed over 30 years ago. So why is the administration so obsessed with an ideological ghost? And what does this campaign mean for our actual lives and freedom? First, let's look at their tactic. What we're seeing today is a classic political maneuver. Total semantic conflation. Under this rhetoric, communism no longer describes state-planned economies or Marxist political theory. Instead, it's used as a catch-all term for literally anything that threatens concentrated capital or deregulated corporate power. Want universal health care so medical bills don't bankrupt working families? Communism. Support labor unions bargaining for higher wages? Marxist threat. Ask for corporate accountability or rent control? Red menace. This is intentional. Historically, Red Scares have never been about foreign policy. They've been about domestic control. It's a strategy inherited straight from Roy Cohn, the infamous 1950s Red Baiter and Trump's longtime mentor. The goal is simple. Frame popular working-class economic demands not as reasonable policy debates, but as existential threats to the nation. But what's the administration actually trying to achieve with this rhetoric? Let's look at the economic backdrop. Millions of Americans are struggling with runaway housing costs, healthcare inflation, and stagnant real wages. When systemic capitalism fails to deliver stability for the working class, leaders face a choice: reform the system or find a distraction. The modern Red Scare is one of these distractions. By telling working-class voters that their real enemy isn't price-gouging corporations or astronomical rents, but a hidden communist cabal inside the country, the administration deflects accountability. It forces the public into a false choice: accept brutal, unchecked market conditions, or risk being labeled an enemy of the state. Some might think it's just political rhetoric. Who cares what words politicians use at rallies? But the words matter. Red Scares never stay verbal. Rhetoric turns into policy, and policy turns into real restrictions on everyday Americans. Some examples. When dissent or labor organizing is branded as anti-American or communist, it lays the groundwork to criminalize peaceful protest and undermine civil liberties. Denouncing collective action as socialism makes it easier to roll back worker protections, safety regulations, even overtime pay. Most importantly, it prevents us from having actual solutions to real problems. When every basic social welfare program is labeled an enemy doctrine, regular people pay the price in higher bills and a lower quality of life. At the end of the day, anti-communist hysteria isn't about protecting our freedom. It's about protecting power. Real freedom isn't just the right to choose between two corporate options. It's having health care, economic security, and the right to organize for a better life. Let's not let a 70-year-old scare tactic blind us to what's happening right now.